All right, so hello, my loves. Today we are here with Nazario, aka Nas the Hair Slinger.
Hi everybody, how's everybody doing today?
He is the founder and CEO of The Barber Effect.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and Nas, he came to speak at Paul Mitchell School, Houston. I am a student there. I am in cosmetology school. He came to teach and help us, and I learned a lot from him. I learned why my low taper ended up into a high taper. So thank you for that. But not only is he an amazing barber, but he also has an amazing story, which I want to talk to you guys, talk to him about, and so that you guys can learn his story and learn what has prompted him to really go into full effect and build out the Barber Effect. And now he's building out his own trailer, and I'll let you tell your story.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So starting off barbering, cutting hair. I'm gonna start off by saying cutting hair because cutting hair started back in junior high and high school. One of my cousins, he came from Mexico, tried to get an education here in the United States, and it got a little hard for my parents to take care of us as far as grooming, haircuts and buying us clothes and things like that. So my cousin was like, hey, how about you buy us a pair of clippers and we'll just take care of each other's haircuts. So we just started doing each other's hair. He ended up going back to Mexico with his family, but the clippers stayed there with me here in the United States. So throughout high school, I was doing haircuts for my friends in band. I used to play saxophone back in the day.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah,
I played outside
sax.
sax.
Yeah. So cutting my friends' hair there in high school, also in ROTC. Finished high school, graduated, and I joined the Marine Corps. I was in the Marine Corps for 6 years. While being in the Marine Corps, I would do barracks cuts. Just nothing fancy, just try chopping people's heads up, And with that right there, I just kept on doing that on the weekends. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I struggled finding a job because being able to adapt it back into the civilian sector and being able to just switch off that switch, going from military back into regular day life, it's not the easiest for a lot of us. So one day I go to my barber and I ask my barber, I'm like, hey man, how do you like barbering? And he's like, man, I love it. I can take care of my family, I have my vehicles, I have my house. The only main thing I'm gonna tell you is, before you go into it, just analyze two things. If you can go ahead and be good with money, you're gonna always have at least minimum $20 in your pocket. If you're not good with money, you're gonna be owing places a lot of different places at least $20.
Right, that's across the board with anything.
With anything, finances is big.
Yeah, because for me, big part of my story is that I started off in corporate America, because I was like, I'm tired of being poor. I need to go out and I need to start making money as soon as possible. So everybody told me, oh, be an accountant because you'll make so much money as an accountant. And I was like, okay, let me start off at the highest ranking firm. So I started off at a Big 4 accounting firm, and then I even went and kept raising my salary significantly more than a lot of my friends were, and I was still broke. And I'm like,
where's all this money?
That's a huge tip, number one, that is the foundation for everything. No matter what career you go into, money will be as good as you are with it.
That right there, I took that in, took the day, I finished getting my hair cut, and did my research so I could use my VA loans for school. I went to a school called Alamo City Barber College. There in San Antonio. And so I finished off my school. While going to school, I was working for a staffing agency, helping people find jobs. Ended up ending that job so I can concentrate on school. I ended up turning my little living room into a small little barber shop. So I was going to school, continued doing haircuts during the day in my little apartment, and that's how I was able to pay all my bills, and just really focus on the mindset of, I need to give this 100%.
Oh, so you were able to pay all your bills off part-time? Wow,
yeah.
Okay.
Just managing money, knowing when to spend, when not to spend. So graduated barber school, and I applied at this little barbershop, just trying to get a little bit of knowledge of what the barbering industry really is. I jumped around from different barbershops because there's a barber for everyone.
Yeah.
There's a stylist for everyone. And learning your craft is, you can't just go to one place and learn everything. You gotta be able to pick people's brains. How does this person do this? How does this person do that?
Yeah.
So I found this barbershop. It's called North Star Barbershop in San Antonio in Stone Oak. One day I call in and I ask them, hey, are you guys hiring? And the guy who answered, his name is Moses Gamboa. And I was like, he's like, yeah, we're hiring. Go and come on in. Let me talk to you. So I was like, okay, well, where are you guys located? And he's like, oh, well, we're inside the car wash here in Stone Oak. And I'm like, okay, I mean, it didn't make sense. Like, a barbershop in a car wash.
I was like, wait, maybe that's a new thing.
Yeah. So when I got there, completely different than what I was picturing. And it's an actual complex with different suites. It's a really nice concept. You take in your car, you drop off the keys, you go inside, get your haircut, and get your car washed, and
good. Yeah.
all in one. You know, so it's a very nice barbershop. I worked there with them for 2.5 years. After that, I found an opportunity out in Beverly Hills, California, in West Hollywood, at a barbershop called Barcode Barbershop, out there with George and Victor. Great guys, really good experience, but being able to just step away from my comfort zone here in San Antonio to explore and see what else is out there really changed my career. I went out there, worked at that barbershop over at Barcode Barbershop, and then I found out that there was an opportunity to become a learning leader, an educator for Paul Mitchell there in Pasadena. And I did that for a year. My goal, I set a goal. I told myself I want to be working for this company for 1 year, so that way anywhere I go, I can say I worked here for a year. And it was time to come back home here to Texas. I chose Houston because it's a huge market. And so by being here in the market in Houston, all the ideas that I've created, it starts off with an idea, you know? You gotta create an idea, dream, and make your goals.
Yep.
You know, because if you can't dream and you don't make your goals, at the end of the day, you're just dreaming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you gotta put it in motion. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I moved here in June, started working at this barbershop, and for some reason it didn't work out. I was told that I was not a good fit at the barbershop. Even though in less than a month, I became the most booked barber. I had the most rebookings. I would sell the most retail. And sometimes you're just not a good fit at some places. Why? Because either your energy is either higher or, you know.
I'm like a type of person that it's like I want to ace whatever I'm doing. Like I want to be an overachiever. I want to be great at what I'm doing. I don't ever want to be like underperforming per se. But a lot of times I was in these situations and in these environments where culturally it was not a good fit for me. And I felt like that was failure. I felt like, no, there's no such thing as not a good fit. That just means that I'm underperforming, or that means that I'm not a valuable candidate. Or I was letting that, what everybody else was feeling about me, affect how I felt about myself and affect my self-esteem and my value as a contributor to this organization. And once I started getting a little bit older in my career, I started realizing like, hey, it doesn't matter how great you are at your job. If you don't fit in with the rest of the team, you know, they will find some excuse to say, hey, you gotta go. And it's just human nature, it's human bias. But I think what like attracted me to your story is that you didn't do what I did. You didn't say, hey, that means there's something wrong with me. I need to figure out how to please these people, you know. Instead, you said, hey, no, I know my value as a barber or a hair cutter or whatever, you know, you want to go by. And you said, hey, I'm going to step out on faith and just go with the flow. And so that's the part that I want you to talk about a little bit.
Yes, I would love to. So one of the things about that, I ended up getting told you're not a good fit. For the first 2-3 days, I was completely gone in my mind. Calling my family, I spoke to my dad, and my dad told me, he's like, hey, you have all your ideas, and you've been giving all your ideas 25%, and you've been giving everyone else 100% of your time, 100% of your energy.
Yeah.
And it clicked, and he's all like, I mean, it's always good to have a really good support system. You know, my dad told me, I believe in you.
Yeah.
And you know, having a really good support system, knowing that someone has your back is just gonna motivate you even more. Sat down, made a plan, set some goals, and here in a few months, I'm gonna have what's called the barber effect. I'm gonna have a mobile barbershop here in the state of Texas, and I'm gonna be here in Houston. With that right there, it's just, I've been giving a lot of things very little dedication, and you just gotta dedicate. If you love something, have the passion for something, you got to just take that leap of faith, not be scared. Why? Because you are gonna fail. We are gonna fail. We fail every day. But the difference is the person who fails and quits, or the person who fails and reanalyzes and pushes forward.
I feel like a lot of people just quit at that moment because it's like, oh, is this, maybe this pushback is telling me I shouldn't be doing this.
They start second guessing themselves, and they're like, this isn't for me.
Right.
You know?
But I feel like the moment that you push through that and you keep going, I feel like you will eventually get to where you're going. And it goes for like many business owners. Most of the time, your first business will fail. That doesn't mean that you're not supposed to be a business owner. That just means that you need to tweak and go and, you know, figure out
Go back to the drawing board.
Right.
Yeah.
You won't succeed without failing first.
Exactly.
It's like failing is learning.
Yes.
How would you encourage somebody else that is struggling with persevering right now, who feels like they want to give up or feels like they don't have motivation? Because motivation doesn't stay there. It's like one day you're going to be on 10, so want to accomplish what you want to accomplish, and the next day you wake up and you're like, I really don't want to do this today, or really don't feel like doing this. Maybe this isn't what I truly want to do. What kind of encouragement would you give that person?
The main thing that I would tell them is get with your support system. We all have a support system. And on the days that we're second guessing ourselves the most, it's good to sit down and talk to the people that are there for us and let them know what's on our minds. Because if we don't, we're just trapped in our minds and we're second guessing ourselves. Support system is big, but at the same time, just know that you're here, you're failing. You may go back down a few steps, but you're gonna continue going further.
Yeah.
The next time you fail, you're not gonna go past your first failure, because you already know how it feels to fail. You already been hurt.
Yeah. And so you're saying like where you are right now, that's your baseline.
Yes.
So when you go forward, you may get a little pushed back, but you've already been at the baseline. So you know how to keep pushing. And so essentially, if you want to make progress, it's progress over perfection. And that's all we're trying to preach here today. So keep going, keep pushing, I promise you, the future you will look back and thank the old you for persevering through whatever hardships that you were going through. And I think a lot of the times we will feel alone.
Yes.
Like we'll feel like we're the only one who is failing at whatever we're failing at, or we're the only one who ever got fired or let go, or we're the only ones that are not performing up to par, or whatever the case may be. But it's not true. We all are failing. It's just that not a lot of people are talking about it.
Yes.
And that's why I'm so appreciative of you being very transparent with your story, because I feel like that encourages a lot of people to say, hey, there is hope for me. I can keep going and see something come into fruition, because you're starting off from ground zero and you're building an empire.
It's super scary.
Yeah.
It's super scary. Like right now with my mobile barbering, let's see, today is Sunday. On Friday, I had 10 clients. It was an amazing day. But during the week, Monday I had 2, Tuesday I had 2, Wednesday I had 0, Thursday I had 2, and then Friday I had 10.
See, it's crazy. And so it's like every day is not going to be like this straight line going up. You're going to have bumps and, highs and lows, but you're still going forward, so that maybe next year, your baseline is going to be at least 10 clients. And then now it's going to be even more. Now you need a team because you can't support all these clients.
With that right there, I think it's just setting your goals, keeping a positive mindset. You got to look in the mirror and tell yourself every day, I can do this.
Yes, and I think that's the key I want to hit on, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, well, I don't have a support system. Well, for one, if you don't have supportive people around you, you need to get supportive people around you. First and foremost, there are supportive people in this world. You just need to find people that align with your frequency and your wave pattern. So make sure that you're encouraging and supporting yourself. Be a support system to yourself first, and let yourself know you can do this, you got this, and those people will come. We all have the duty to be that for ourselves, because nobody's gonna come and rescue us and be like, hey, let me help you do this for you. No, everybody's trying to do something for themselves. So thank you so much. I feel like this has been super helpful.
Thank you.
If people want to reach out to you, or they want to come support you, or they want to get a haircut, where can they find you on social media?
So on social media, I have a few. For my day-to-day hair cutting, it's Nas the Hair Slinger, and we'll go ahead and put it in.
Yes, I'll link it down below in the description.
And so that's my day-to-day content. I'm trying to push out as much content as I can on that. I'm slowly building the barber effect, and at the same time I make my own handcrafted soap, moisturizing oils, and moisturizing balms. So I have what's called Bear Grooming Company. We'll go put it all in the link below. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I really appreciate it. Hopefully, maybe we can do a follow-up once the shop is on and succeeding and featured everywhere in the news.
Stay tuned, everybody. It's coming, it's super exciting.
Yep.